Hello, hello, hello. We are again Moneylogy show here today with you, and congratulations first of all with a few first days of spring, which probably we hope at least will give some maybe relief on Corona things and everything in the near future as well. Depending on where you are, probably the weather can be still different, but Moneylogy show is always the same time and the same day each week, and here me and Paolo Arome share our thoughts about steps which is required to get towards financial freedom, because our mission is to help you to reach financial freedom through business or investing, and give more options, more choices for you and your family to live a harmonious life. This is our mission, and this is why we do this show. And if topics as personal finances, investing, entrepreneurship are important for you, just watch this show, and maybe these thoughts which we're going to share will be also useful for you. And by the way, if you want to watch our previous shows, you can always find them on any channels you like: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and just follow us here to watch the previous shows. So today's topic, which we wanted to discuss with Fao, actually, I would like to start from one of the sayings which was once said by Buckminster Fuller, one of the great minds of America, and he said that environment is stronger than will. And basically, what does it mean, actually? What does this saying mean, and what this environment is, and why it is so important also talking about financial decisions which we make? So, Vala, could you share your thoughts about it? What is environment and why it is so important?
Yeah, I think this Buckminster's sentence is a pretty powerful lesson because, if we look back to our lives, then we have a lot of influence from other people around us, and it really matters who are the people there. Are the ones who are supporting us, or are the people who are holding us back? And depending on that, it will influence our decisions making. And I think it's if I take like personal example, when I started the path of financial education, we were running a club events where we were playing cash flow once a week. And I remember that once a week I was there. There was always people who were supporting me on my path, and it really helped me to move forward because they were thinking the same way and they were asking the same questions, and it actually helped me. And then I went away to meet with my other friends, and they were doing nothing and basically saying that investing is risky. So it's actually a choice where I want to put myself as an environment, because if I understand how important it is influencing myself, then I become more and more intentional of choosing my environments as well.
Exactly, and this is probably one of the reasons why it's so hard for many people to start their business or to start investing, because the environment where we are, we grow, or they surround themselves, actually is not the one which helps them in this journey. Because, like you said, if there are a lot of people in your environment who are not connected with business at all, what will be they saying to you about the business? 9 of 10 businesses fails. Yes, first million needs to be stolen. At least this is quite a popular saying in probably post-Soviet Union countries and so on. So basically, this programs your thoughts actually the same way. And when you do actions, the actions will be done. Even the same actions will be done not the proper way in this case.
Yeah, and to make it a good example, I remember when I went the first time to the States to one of the trainings with Robert Kiyosaki. There was like 300 people there in the room, and then I was like, okay, everybody looks like a regular person, but they are financially free, they are entrepreneurs, they are investing. So it really inspires you if you're surrounded by these people. And then when I came back, I didn't see this in my environment, so it became more and more intentional actually where I spend my time.
Exactly. So, what would be, in your opinion, the first steps for people who realize that basically the environment in which they are now are not helping them on this journey, and they need to change something in order to move faster, or at least to start moving at all?
I think the first realization is that you have to understand that your environment is your choice. First of all, you have to take the responsibility, because it's easy to say, I can change my friends, I can change my family, but you can change the amount of time that you spend in this environment. It doesn't mean that you will have to, change your friends or let them go, but you can just put more time in the environment that supports you. And if you know where you're going, and you know that you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be an investor, then you have to surround yourself people who are already further away, who are already on the path, who already done the steps that you want to take for the next year. So yeah, I think it's really becoming intentional, and even if the environment doesn't support you, and quite often it is that even our closest friends or family may not support us, then we just have to spend more time with other people, and we will find new friends, and eventually this will help us to move faster.
Exactly. So this is probably one of the reasons why we also created Inner Circle. This is our Starfish Academy core in our community, and this is the place where people come to be in the environment of like-minded people, which would be helping them to move forward, to study, to learn, to share experience, and to do actions. And quite often, it's also common actions together in order to create a passive income, in order to start business or start investing. And this helps them a lot, because when you are in the environment of like-minded people, nobody says you will fail, you won't do it. They just want to help you, and sharing their experience and also actions together.
Yeah, and I would say it's not even only about learning, but it's more like a community of practice, where we basically come together to do the things that we have learned, and we can do the things together, and we can inspire each other, and we can go to some real deals together. So that's the whole idea of the Inner Circle, and it really grow out from the need of having a supportive environment around you.
Exactly. By the way, for those who watch our show, you can always ask questions in the comments below the video, and we will answer these questions in this show, or if questions are written after the show, we will include it to the next show. As well, in the same place, you can actually suggest the topics you would like us to include to the upcoming show, so feel free to do so, and we will be more than happy to discuss these topics and answer your questions right now. And I would say one of good exercises which would help people to understand what is the environment they are in now is just to write down the 5 or 7 people with whom they are communicating the most, and measure them according to the indicators or the achievements in the areas which are important for them. So let's say if you want to measure your environment in the term of financial freedom, just write down 7 people or 5 people with whom you are communicating and spending the most time together, and write how they are comparing with yourself on the level of financial freedom. And if you see that you are the best one in the environment, what would we do, Paolo?
Yeah, this is one of the biggest lesson I got in the past, is that you never want to be the smartest guy in your team. You always want to surround yourself with the smart people. So if you find yourself that you are the furthest away, then you probably need to change your environment quickly.
Exactly, and this is actually shows you where you should be heading to, where you would be willing to find these people. So, like Paolo said, if you want to be an entrepreneur and you are not yet, then find the environment where entrepreneurs can be around you. And this can be different clubs. Let's say, for example, one of the environments where we are also together with Paolo is BNI. Yes, it's actually an organization of entrepreneurs who are willing to work together in order to generate referrals to each other. And it also helps actually a lot of small business owners who starts with the journey. And the same ways, if you want to be an investor, you need to find the environment where other people would be already maybe doing some investment steps which you are not doing yet, and this would help you to grow much faster.
Yeah, and just to add to expand your context, and the environment doesn't always have to be physical. It can be also the books you read, the Facebook lives you watch, whatever podcasts you listen, because this can be your environment. And if this is the most time of the week that you're spending there, then this is your environment, and you can choose it.
Exactly. So basically, it means that these people with whom you spend the most time with can even be some authors of the books or podcasts or whatever, because this is your time which you spend on your also as well. So, if you feel that your environment is not maybe the best one for you to move on this journey, just think about the first steps, how you can change the environment, and surround yourself with people who would be helping you on this journey as well. Also, today we would like to introduce you one more term in our Starfish vocabulary section, of a show, and actually it connects a bit to the previous topic of a show which we had last week, because the term is quantitative easing, and last time we was actually discussing about the purchasing power of money. So quite often you will be hearing this term in different discussions about economy, and this is actually what is happening now in the world, and actually in the world economy. So that, what does it mean, this quantitative easing? Simply saying, it's just the printing of money, because the higher the amount of money is, the lower is the purchasing power of money. So you see some steps how it's done in the economy, and central banks create some money from thin air, and basically they purchases with this money some government debts through bonds. This actually influences the interest rates going down, and of course allows businesses and consumers to borrow more, which goes to the higher consumption and stimulation of economy. This is how it should work, but what we can see actually now, that this process and this idea maybe is already not working so well as it was before, and that's why the amount of money is growing so fast, but actually the economy stays where it was in the past.
Yeah, I think I always, it's so funny to see always these terms that they create, like quantitative easing.
Yeah,
Like a normal person doesn't realize what it means, but it's actually printing money. And the challenge right now is that because interest rates are so low anyway, that the same measures that maybe worked 10 years ago doesn't work the same way.
exactly.
And, and there's a lot of printing going on. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really interesting that these like difficult terms or sophisticated words are actually just for the purpose that ordinary people would think that these consultants who use these words are actually much more wiser and smarter than them. But if you understand the meaning, you can see that this is just a simple process which is already happening in the economy for a while, and it's not the best one probably in current economic situation. So that's why basically you need to increase your financial literacy and surround yourself, like we discussed today, with the people who would help you to understand these sometimes difficult terms, because actually in another angle, this is also the environment where we live now, because we live in the world where printing of money became a new norm. And actually, it probably will lead us not to the best outcomes in the future. And if you understand this environment also, not the environment of people, but environment of economical laws and everything, you also need to find the ways how to use it for your sake and for your benefits. So, like, yeah, Mala, you wanted to add
Yeah, I
something?
just want to say that because the economy has changed and the way how the governments are leading the economy has changed, and also the education has to change. But for most of the people, whether the education is missing at all or they haven't changed their education, they're thinking the old way that we just have to find a job and that's enough. But it's not anymore, because if you're printing so much money and the value is going down so fast, then you need to also be investing besides of having a labor.
Exactly, and this is actually really important, because coming back to today's topic, if you are in the environment of just an employees, where let's say 90% of them are not investing at all, it will be hard for you to start doing so, because the only way how we know to save money is just to put the money to the banks or somewhere where actually the interest rates are now so low that you can even pay bank in order to take your money out of the bank. So this is, again, one more sign why you need to change your environment. So one more time, if you have any questions related to this topic or to any other topics which are important for you, you can write them in the comments below the video, and we will be more than happy to include them to our show today or in the future, as well as the topics for upcoming shows which will be suggested by you. So feel free to share your thoughts, feel free to ask questions, and this will bring you more value from us if we will be able to share our thoughts and answers about the show, about these questions. And one more time, if you are those who are interested in such topics, you can find always our other content, not only Moneylogy shows, in channels which are the most comfortable for you, like Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. just type Starfish Academy VR and become the followers. And as well, if you like this show, you can share the show with your friends, tag them in the comments, put likes, put shares, and just show us that this content is valuable for you. And we will meet you in the next show, the same day, the same time, just the next week. So thank you, Valo, also for your thoughts, and let's meet next week, the same time.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.